Hello and welcome back to the 8-part video series, Spiritual Gifts, a Sensual Experience. Get ready for part 2, Clairaudience. Hello, beautiful tribe. Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about the spiritual gift of clairaudience. In my previous video, we talked about clairvoyance, which is the ability to have clear sight. Clairaudience is very similar to what it sounds like. Clairaudience is the ability of clear listening or clear hearing. Clairaudience can manifest in your life in various ways. One way is as you are falling asleep, you tend to hear voices or even hear your name called out. I know when I was growing up, sometimes I would be falling asleep and right in between that transitional period, I would hear Bradley, and it would wake me up from I was about to go to sleep, I was almost slipping into that dreamland state, and I would hear someone say my name. You also possibly reach for the phone before it actually rings. That is clairaudience. You're hearing something before it is happening. And also, you tend to be able to be very telepathic as well because you can pick up on other people's thoughts and hear what they are thinking. You are able to innately listen to what is happening to people on inside. You can not only do this to people, you can do this to places, things, objects, and all kinds of different things. Clear hearing is as diverse and as multifaceted as we are as human beings. Each of us are unique. How this ability manifests in your life can be completely different how it manifests in my life. For some people, clairaudience can even be listening to a television show or a radio show and hearing a message from spirit through what is being told to them. It might be a completely different subject. It might be a car commercial, and yet you have been struggling with an issue or you've been thinking about something, and that car commercial gives you the go-ahead or a sign, and you're able to clearly hear Spirit's voice through that message. That is the ability of clairaudience. Clairaudience is very similar to clairempathy, which means you are able to feel, because listening and feeling are closely linked. Think about listening to music. When you listen to music, it also touches something inside your heart. There are a number of people in our society that when they listen to music, they get goosebumps, or they get chills, or they cry, or they laugh, or they smile. And also a lot of us have songs and memories that when we hear a specific song, that memory is triggered and it brings us back into the past of that, which is actually time travel, which is so cool. But clairaudience is an amazing gift, and how you can use it is pretty much as wide as your imagination can be. So what you have to do is figure out how you hear spirit. This might not be your strongest gift, it might be your weakest gift, but there are exercises and things that you can do to help bring you closer to having mastery of clairaudience. At first, like I said in my previous video, my primary gift is clairvoyance. My secondary gift is clairaudience. Like I talked about, whenever I'm receiving prophecy or whenever I'm receiving visions, sometimes it comes with a voice in my head that is very clear and I hear it. Clairaudience, a lot of people with clairaudience will say, I heard, I listened to, they will listen to audio books, they will read, and when they read, they're actually reading in their mind. They hear their own inner voice. People that have clairaudience are close to their own inner voice, which means their inner voice can tap in and listen to other people's inner voices, which is so cool, because the inner voice is what tells us our truth, what tells us our true story, not the outside facade that we put on for everybody. It's actually what is really going on, what is really our true purpose. Clairaudience helps someone tap into and listen to the song of the heart, or the voice of the heart. I'm going to teach you 2 exercises that you can do to strengthen your clairaudience ability. That way you can tap into more messages from Spirit. You can actually listen better and help with comprehension. Comprehension is the most important part. Isn't that what we always say with society? People are listening, but they're not understanding. The ability of clairaudience asks you not only to listen, but to understand and comprehend the message that you are being given. The number 1 exercise that you can practice to strengthen your clairaudience ability is meditation. Sit quietly for at least 20 minutes. I know it's very difficult, but that's wonderful, because if you're not a person who meditates, you can become someone who meditates. Not all of us were born with the ability to meditate, and any guru or monk or spiritual person out there will tell you meditation is not an easy practice, but it is an essential practice on comprehending and understanding messages from your own body. Clairaudience is a message that you can receive through your body and through your spiritual energy. So by tapping in and taking a moment to quiet and listen, oh, there's that word again, listen, you are able to discern what is your own inner voice, what is someone else's inner voice, and what is Spirit speaking to you. So take 20 minutes today, and I want you to do this for at least 7 days. This takes a little time, but in the morning, or either in the morning or at night, sit down for 20 minutes and just quiet your mind. Now that doesn't mean that you turn off every thought that floats through your head. What that means, and the easiest way to do meditation, is focus on something else. Focus on your breathing. That is an excellent thing to do. Start with shamanic breathing and breathe in and out. In and out. Doing that makes you consciously control your breath, which takes your focus and your attention out of your head and into your chest, closer to your heart, so that you can start to listen to those inner thoughts and those inner voices and messages from your heart. Once you have tapped into the center of who you are, you will still see your thoughts, but you will be slightly dissociated, and they will be displaced from being right here in front of your face. They will actually feel like they're out a little bit so that you can see them, okay? And that means that that's how you allow them to pass without grabbing onto them and making them your own. As you realize, as you practice this for a few days, you will get the sense of what your thoughts feel like. They have a familiarity, they have a special feeling for you, that they're your own internal dialogue, okay? Now, whenever you are down and pulled out and you're seeing those thoughts, you also begin to hear other things in meditation. You can hear voices, follow those voices. Learning to change your focus allows you to tap into different frequencies, because as we recalled in the first video, all of these clear spiritual gifts, or clear sight, clear hearing, all of these things have to do with picking up frequencies that already exist in our reality. It's your job to become a better antenna to kind of receive these gifts, become a receiver, a vessel, if you will. Now, continue to meditate, keeping your focus here, and if anything comes up, follow that. And know that Spirit is trying to direct you to either learning areas, places of growth, different shamanic adventures, or even taking you on a journey of healing or magic. There are so many different ways that you can follow the call. There is an amazing science that has came out in recent years called binaural beats. And what you can do is you can actually listen to these with headphones, and what it does is it helps you tap into specific frequencies inside the universe that allow you to open your third eye, which definitely helps you with clairaudience and clairvoyance, and also helps you with your throat chakra and heart chakra, because you want to open up these channels of communication by listening to these and kind of allowing yourself to be centered in these melodies. So you're going to be meditating again with the binaural beats, but instead of focusing on your heart, you're going to be focusing on the sound and frequency and vibration of these binaural beats, which is taking something outside of yourself and focusing on it. So you're actually moving your awareness outside of yourself. That is a psychic ability that many psychics take years and years of practice to develop. I have literally been able to help clients crack this within one session by simply listening to specific music or letting them find that moment that clicks, that inner wheel in there goes, oh, that's what it's talking about. It's nothing magical. It's nothing earth-shattering or life-changing. It's really kind of crazy when you start doing these psychic exercises and realize that you have been doing them all along. What you do is you listen to the binaural beat and you focus on that frequency, allowing yourself to what is called in music circles, attune to that frequency. By attuning to that frequency, you are opening yourself up energetically to receive more messages. So once you are vibrating at that higher frequency beings are able to speak with you. So let's bring that back in there. On some of my first few videos, we talked about how you are a multidimensional being. The ability to have clairaudience or clairvoyance or clairsentience is simply tapping into frequencies that already exist and give you messages from outside of yourself. You can actually pick up on people's moods. It's kind of mixing into clairsentience and clairempathy, but instead of feeling their mood, you hear their thoughts of saying, oh, I'm so tired today, or oh, my knee doesn't feel good. Those are things that you pick up, and it sounds like it's your own thought, but it is in their voice. And so when you practice the meditation of discerning what is your inner voice and what is not, you are able to discern what is actually a psychic ability and what is your inner thought. It splits that difference. It takes the ego out of it and allows you to listen to what spirit is telling you. So that is one way to do it. You can listen to your friends. And I always try to ask for permission before doing this. But if you are clairaudient, you do this without knowing it. And you tend to pick up and say things, and that's why people might look at you weird, because you picked up on a thought that they hadn't said yet, but you clearly heard it. That is literally the ability of clairaudience. You can also, whenever you're in this meditation, you can ask to speak to a specific angel or a deity or a spirit or even someone that is on the physical plane. You can ask to talk to them. So you can do this with partners. You can talk to them and tap in and find out how they're feeling, find out what's going on so that you can get to the truth of something. And maybe without their ego in the way, and you're tapping in and listening to their higher self, you are going to be tapping into the truth of things, and that can give you understanding. Now, where this gets into a gray area is you do not want to tap into someone just so that you can use it to manipulate them. The best thing to do is tap into them for information to help them along their path. Remember, we are all here to learn. We are all on a beautiful journey that helps us move towards ascension and enlightenment. Every single one of us, whether that means you find success and fulfillment in work, or whether that means you find success and fulfillment in telling stories, or whether that means you find success and fulfillment in drawing pictures. It's a wonderful, beautiful journey, and you don't ever want to use any of these spiritual gifts to negate anyone's karma. They will have to learn the lesson themselves. That is one thing that I learned very quickly going into the healing practice, is you cannot heal what someone came to this earth to learn. Let's say that again. You can't heal someone unless they want to be healed. It might be part of their spiritual journey to go through that. And your bells and whistles, your intuition are telling them, no, no, no. That doesn't mean that you are wrong, and that doesn't mean that it's not going to, that person isn't in for a rude awakening or a lesson, but it is their lesson. That's what you have to discern, and that's where it becomes part of being a spiritual leader, is you lead people to where they want to go, but you don't tell them why or what they're doing, because each of their lessons are for them. Some of the best teachers lead people where they need to go and what they do, but they don't tell them what they're actually looking for, because that is part of the experience of learning and growing and ascending into the light. Now, with your clairaudience ability, it might be very easy for you to tap into other people's thoughts. Just be sure you're not using that in manipulative ways. You're using that in healing ways, giving answers that lead them to the right path instead of putting a bridle on them and dragging them to the right path. It's like that old saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Just remember, meditation is the #1 way to help unlock your spiritual gifts, because you cannot be psychic. You cannot be powerful in yourself if you are worried about the past or you are stressing over the future. It has to be present and in the now. To really be psychic, you have to come from a place of in this moment. And that's what being psychic is. A lot of the time you can see parts of the future, you can see parts of the past, but the important thing is right now. What can you do right now in your life to tap into the magic and the amazing spiritual energy that already exists? Meditation is your answer. If you have any other questions about being clairaudient or clairvoyant from my first video, be sure to check that out over here and give it a like, thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember, as you raise your vibe in meditation and as you start unlocking and activating more and more of these abilities in this 8-part series of the spiritual gifts, a sensual experience, you heal the tribe. Bye, everybody.